Hey, good morning and welcome to another edition of Coffee Talk. I'm Brent Kirkendall. This is John Kirkendall, Gulf Coast Financial Services here in Lake City, Florida. And we just wanted to come to you this morning and talk to you a little about some updates with the CARES Act, things that have progressed with that, and also talk to you a little bit about the governor's phase-in or phase one of reopening the state.
Yeah, we hope everybody out there has been safe and had a period of rejuvenation while we've been hunkering down, letting this virus pass. It's been a time of reflection. The only time in history, Brent, that I can ever remember our economy totally almost shutting down and letting something like this pandemic come through, and then us gearing back up. So it's been a one-time thing for me in my lifetime, but we hope everybody out there is safe. We hope you have enjoyed this time. Now let's get back out there and make this economy grow.
Absolutely. And I'm going to get you to tell us a little bit about what's going on with the CARES Act in just a minute, but I'm going to talk about phase one of the reopening of Florida first. Well, the governor came out this past Wednesday and said that he was ready to start reopening Florida in phases. And it wasn't going to be anything dramatic in phase one. It was going to be small baby steps, so to speak, but it was a step in the right direction. We didn't go in full blast into this. We saw restaurants gradually closing at 50% capacity and things like that as the virus became more prevalent. And now we're going to see us phasing back in and opening the state back up. Schools are going to continue to be closed for the remainder of the year. Distance learning will still be taking place. It's not summer yet, but distance learning will continue to take place. Visits to senior citizens and assisted living facilities are still prohibited. We're not allowed to go and visit our loved ones in those facilities just for their safety. Elective surgeries can resume. So if you've been waiting to have some type of procedure, you've been waiting to have some type of a surgery, as long as that medical facility has an adequate supply of supplies to do that, then certainly those surgeries will begin again. Indoor seating at restaurants will be at 25% capacity. So we were at 50% phasing out. The governor felt like it was good to come back in at 25%. And so indoor seating at restaurants, 25% of capacity. Outdoor seating at a restaurant, if they're lucky enough to have an outdoor patio or outdoor seating, then we just have to practice the 6 feet social distancing protocols and we'll be okay there. Libraries, museums can also open at 25% capacity. Retail establishments, shopping centers, shopping facilities can open back up at 25% capacity as well. No change at this time for bars, nightclubs, gyms, hairdressers, nail salons, all that kind of stuff. So we're going to see how that goes with phase two, hopefully sometime this month as we progress, and those might be opening up as well. Sporting events can resume, except we can't have spectators there, so we can have the events, but the spectators won't be there watching. And then they're asking everybody to continue to practice social distancing. So if you're out and about and you're walking around in the park or you're gathering with the people, still continue don't gather in groups of more than 10 people. And let's continue to practice that 6 feet distancing or that social distancing, watching the contact that we have with other people as well. We need to remember that those that are 65 and above or those that have pre-existing medical conditions are still very vulnerable to this. And so we want to make sure that we're not making them susceptible to the virus. And really, those folks need to continue to practice the protocols that are already in place to make sure of their safety. How does this pertain to us? We at Gulf Coast have been here. We've been working. We've been working lately with the doors locked just for our safety and for your safety, and doing a lot of video conferencing. Monday, when the order goes into effect, we will unlock our doors and open our doors again. We're going to encourage you, though, to continue to apply or to use the Zoom video conferencing features. If you don't know how to do that, we'll be happy to walk you through that and set that up. There's no need to come into our office. We can handle everything over Zoom. We can handle everything via email correspondence or phone correspondence. And so we want to continue to provide safety for you and for our staff and make sure that everybody is getting through this and that we're continuing to improve as we go through this as well. You can continue to call and make contact with us. You have any questions, you have any needs from us, please feel free to reach out. We'll be happy to help you in any way that we can.
Brent, we wanted to update the listeners out there on a couple of things that I think that are fairly important, but also very confusing. As you know, in the beginning of the year, January 1st, we had the Secure Act passed, which one of the big components of that was the required minimum distributions for people 70 and a half was actually put back to age 72. So all that's still in place, but we also had the Secure Act, or the CARES Act passed, which was his most recent legislation when we did the stimulus during the COVID-19. So what that did was said that if you're taking an RMD, if you're 72 and were supposed to take an RMD this year, or if you were 70 and a half and already been taking one, then you didn't have to take it this year. So just because you've taken it in the past doesn't mean that you'll have to take it again. If you don't need the money to live on, there's an excellent opportunity for us to go ahead and take that required minimum distribution and convert it into a Roth now while taxes are low. Then there are some other things that we need to do, and we need to get you into the office and let us run our tax clarity software so we can figure out what makes the best sense for you tax-wise. There's one other big component of the CARES Act, which, like I said, was part of the stimulus package. That was said that you could take up to $100,000 out of your 401k without penalty if you weren't 59 and a half. Now, you know, if you're 59 and a half or over, you can take money out of a retirement account without the 10% penalty for the government. You still owe the taxes, but the 10% is waived if you're 59 and a half. Well, that's been waived this year, Brent. And one other component of that is we have 3 years to put the money back in, or 3 years to pay the taxes on the money that we took out. The caveat of that is you have to make a couple of conditions have to be met in order for you to be eligible. And that's what I really want everybody out there to understand. First of all, you have to have been diagnosed with the virus. That's one of the conditions. Or your spouse or dependent was diagnosed with the virus. Or you had a adverse financial condition as a result of being quarantined, furloughed or laid off, or had reduced work hours as a result of COVID-19. Or you were unable to work due to child care availability. So if the daycare was closed and you weren't able to work, then that's a condition where we can do that. Your business hours of operation decreased, and then finally the IRS decides to say it's okay. That's kind of a no-brainer there. But the main thing we need to know is make sure that when they say that you can take this 100,000 up to 100,000 out if you have it in there, that you understand there are certain caveats, or you're going to be penalized at 10% penalty. Also, if you meet one of those conditions, it also may be a good chance for us to do a Roth conversion and move that money over into a Roth account, and then we have 3 years to pay the taxes based upon this regulation.
So we just want to thank you for joining us this morning for a few minutes and just letting us update you on what's happening with things that are going on in the financial world and the world in general.
Right. We hope that everybody out there, as we said in the beginning, is safe. We hope that you're doing well. If there's anything at all you need that we can help you with, we here at Gulf Coast Financial stand ready to try to assist you. We've been talking to our clients and meeting with them over the internet, Zoom, which has been a big experience for us and for them. And if you need anything at all, give us a call. But let's get back out there and get to work and make this economy great.
Absolutely. Have a wonderful weekend.